And now it's time for the lightning round with Brad Butt. Brad, are you all set to go?
Yeah, let's go, David.
All right. The Prime Minister has went to Washington to have a tete-a-tete with President Biden. What do you think he's going to talk to him about?
Well, he is joining both President Biden and the President of Mexico on Thursday. They will obviously be discussing trilateral relations, but the Prime Minister has a really important job to do down there, which is to reinforce that Canada is a trading partner and friend of the United States. With all of the Buy American and protectionist stuff going on down there, Prime Minister Trudeau really has to send a message in this meeting that we're all in this together.
And this is the first meeting of the three amigos, as they're called, in quite some time. Of course, President Trump didn't believe in it. Here at home in Ontario, the Premier is doubling down on Highway 413. Local councils were not in favor of it. The Premier seems to believe that, or seems to be saying, not really interested in what you have to say. We need a highway.
Well, yes, Premier Ford is betting on highways being an issue that people certainly in Peel region would be concerned about, with gridlock and goods movement and other things. So yes, he and his government have doubled down on both Highway 413 and the construction of the Bradford bypass between highways 400 and 404. So there's lots going on. They're pushing on this, and the only good thing is at least they adopted the MBOT position that there should be no tolls on the future Highway 413 if it ever gets built and running.
Absolutely. The story about mandatory vaccinations are leading to loss of employment. I was a little surprised at this. I thought that people would be embracing vaccinations so that they could get back to work. What's the latest?
Well, we're already starting to see blowback, certainly from some public sector unions on mandatory vaccinations and employees not either getting a mandatory vaccination or providing proof of what their status is and losing their jobs. We're starting to see a little bit of blowback on that. Obviously, if public sector employers are starting to have problems in this area, private sector employers, businesses aren't going to be too far behind.
Brad, we've seen capacity limits eliminated on many sectors, but there's still a couple that have capacity limits. What's their status at the moment?
So we did get an announcement last week from the Chief Medical Officer of Health for the province of Ontario that they wouldn't be eliminating capacity limits in certain sectors like nightclubs and adult entertainment parlors and other highly congregate, highly closely where there's close human contact, that those limits will not be lifted for now. There's a little concern with some of the spike in the numbers, and they're just using caution.
Private members bill was introduced at the legislature in Ontario regarding retail stores and cannabis. Are we going to see retail cannabis stores in Mississauga anytime soon?
Probably not. This is a private members bill that was sponsored by an NDP MPP from Toronto. She's calling on the province to amend the licensing rules to make sure municipalities have greater control and say in where these stores are located and how many can be in a municipality. This is something the Mississauga Board of Trade has called for, so has Mississauga City Council, but private members bills often don't see the light of day at the end of the day, and there's no guarantee the provincial government would endorse this bill.
That's it for the lightning round. Brad, we'll see you next week.
Okay, David.